Hey, vinyl community. Jeff here. It's been a while. It's been a few days. It's been a week or so, hasn't it? Almost. Well, whatever. Anyway, I was thinking today. Honestly, I haven't gotten a whole lot of stuff in recently to really justify a new release type video. But I got a couple things, and I'll probably show later. I got to thinking today, and I thought, I looked back using the magic of Discogs and, sorting things based on release date and everything. And I said, I was just curious. I was thinking about doing like my best of 2022, half a year, best of type stuff. But then I started looking a little deeper and I'm like, I looked at all the items that I've bought in this year that were released this year. So we're talking 2022 releases. These are items, either reissues or whatever. They were released in 2022. And I came up with about 142 items that I purchased between CDs and albums and even some singles, which I didn't dig in to show those. But, just 142 pieces of items that were released in the year 2022. Now, obviously, I've bought more than that because I bought a lot of OGs of other years. I bought things that maybe came out prior to that. But anyway, and then I got to thinking, how many of those bands in 2022 that I bought from 2022 releases were actually 2022 music that was released, fresh music released in 2022. So that would exclude all reissues, which I've got a bunch of them, and just bands so 142, and that includes all the reissues. So how many of them were actually new releases? And I was surprised, not many. I forget how many. You can count them in this video. I think I'm showing them all here. Probably, maybe 20. I'm going to blow through these real quick. Now, I kind of put these in sort of the order that I really have been impressed with. So they're kind of in favorite order. I'm going to go through the vinyl records first, and then the CDs after that. Turns out I had bought more CDs than I really thought. I mentioned this one not too long ago. This is Fear Not. This is their newest album, and so I've been a big fan of Fear Not since the 90s when their first time came out, and then they disappeared, as I've said, and then they came back and they've got a couple albums out now, and this is their new one, Field of Sorrows, and really been impressed with this. So I mentioned in the last video that I was so impressed with this that it made me go back and check out the release that came before this, which at the time didn't do as much for me, but I've gotten used to the new vocalist and I really dig it. So anyway, this has been one of the highlights of the vinyl releases I've got, one of the highlights so far for 2022. A good place to put that. And then we're going to jump into the latest from Hammerfall. I've been a big Hammerfall fan since the 90s. They're consistently good Swedish Euro metal, power metal, without so much radical double bass drum that so much power metal gets on my nerves with a little bit. You would think as a drummer I'd like it, but sometimes it's overkill. They always do a well-balanced job, and so loving the new Hammerfall. Of course, the new Def Leppard. Yeah, I dig it. It's got some more commercial tracks on here, but it's got some really kicking tunes, and I'm a big fan, and I've loved all the music, so I'm fan with that. Digging the new album. Not that this would really rank much lower, but because it's a little bit more on the mellower side, this is DiVirgilio, Morse, and Jennings. So, it's new Morse, I'm going to buy it. But, it's kind of a group little effort here. You got to, DiVirgilio is from, used to be in Spock's Beard with Neil, and he's done a lot of other stuff too. He's a fantastic drummer, fantastic singer. And then Jennings from that band Haken, nice prog band, lots of melodies. Anyway, these three guys got together and they did this amazing album. And it's a little more on the laid back. It's got some pretty cool moments, but it is, a little less rock. The new Michael Schenker album. Honestly, it's good. I like Michael Schenker. I like everything he's done, but it kind of, I have to keep listening to it. It kind of didn't immediately grab me like the last couple albums. It kind of felt a little flat, and I don't know. I just need to give it some more. So right now, that's where that stands. The new Haunt album, Windows of Your Heart. Haunt, to me, also, I kind of, they're kind of a novelty. A lot of people like them. I got on board with them. They have so many cool colors with their albums. That's the novelty part. It's neat to see the various, the varieties that they have of colors and stuff. And so I'm not one of the ones that collects them like some people who buy, multiple colors. But anyway, I, funded this, pre-ordered it when it came out. To me, they're good. They're consistent. Their albums kind of, they always have a consistent sound, and it's great stuff. So I'm glad to have that. And then we did pick up the Kirk Hammett album. Now, not what I expected. I didn't hear anything from it before I bought it. I'm hoping for a instrumental Metallica album, but no, it's very much not that. It's got some experimentation on here, and it's a little on the less rock inside than I was expecting. And then the Udo Dirkschneider covers album that was released on Record Store Day. I like it. It's cool. I mean, it's a novelty too, because it's Udo singing cool covers. He does a good job. His band is great, hot stuff. So anyway, yeah, liking that. And that's actually it when it comes to the vinyl releases that I bought. CD wise, I've mentioned these back when I got them. The Final Chapter, a band that put an album out many years ago, or put out a bunch of demos in the 80s, and then that was reissued by Dive Bomb Records. And I don't know if that's why the band ended up getting back together. And this album, I still have this in my car. Well, not right now because I took it out of my car. Anyway, I just can't get enough of this album. This is probably, so far, one of the best releases of 2022 for me. That is new music that I am impressed with. Same with this one, Flood. Now, this one's, it's a couple of singer and guitar player from the band Tourniquet, and other bands, of course. And of course, they left Tourniquet after 3 albums. Tourniquet went on. We mentioned them recently because Ted, the main drive behind Tourniquet, just passed away a couple weeks ago. And so, I don't know, whatever. This is kind of related. It kind of has some of that Tourniquet sound only because of the guys. But it's been a great album. It's kind of thrashy. It's kind of just straightforward heavy metal. Great stuff. Love hearing the voice and the guitar playing right back together from back in the days. New Saint album is a real recent one that I showed, and a big fan of Saint, and I still am this one is just ripping me up. I'm loving this album, and great stuff. One that I got not too long ago, All Things Fallen, a Swedish band. I would describe them as on the borderline of symphonic metal, in the sense that they've got, it's kind of a slower, it's got some of the symphonic stuff, some of the keyboard symphonic stuff, but overall it's just that kind of epic. Songs are like 5 to 7 minutes long. Epic Euro metal that I am absolutely digging. All Things Fallen. They have this, and they have a couple, an EP and some singles out, but this is really their first album that I believe, and I am just enjoying that. Can't get that off my turntable either. It's off my CD player. Can't get that out of my CD player. Reign of Glory, I harped about them a couple videos ago. This is a brand new release. It just came out like in the past couple weeks. And it's, you can go back and watch the video I did on them about a super group. And this is kind of self-explanatory there. But, great, solid, traditional metal. Trinity, Memories of the Ancient Presence. This album has just been great. This is, even though I know a lot of this may have been recorded over the years, because the band has been on again, off again for probably more than a decade. I think their history goes back, and they've recorded and stuff, but they finally released this in 2022, so it is a first-time release. Doom, reminds me a lot of like Savior Machine. It's got a lot, it's just that it's kind of doomish. You just got to check it out, and I have really just been really digging this a lot. Flames of Fire. This is Christian Livsgen, or how do you want to pronounce his last name? He's done Narnia, a lot of bands. He does a lot of side projects, and this is one of them. And it sounds a lot like that Euro metal, power metal. Just, he's got a melodic, amazing voice. One of the most powerhouse voices that I really dig, and have enjoyed all of the stuff he puts out. And so I had to grab this one up. And yeah, Flames of Fire is a great project that he's also doing. Little triple ace band, Southern Rock, 1, 2, 3, 4 songs plus 5, 6. 2 of them are interview segments. So it's a little EP. Roger Dale Martin, formerly of Vengeance Rising. This is straight up Southern rock, straight up blues laced classic rock. They call themselves Southern Rock, even though they're probably all from California. But he's from, Oklahoma, so he is a Southern boy. But anyway, just straight up that kind of blues, rocky type stuff. And then on Aeonian Records, which I know they're notorious for releasing just amazing reissues of 80s and 90s classics, but they did release 3 albums by Miss Crazy, which I've shown. They are a modern band, They got rock elements. They got some, you know, borderline metallic sounding stuff. They've got some experimental stuff. These two albums are covers, where they do covers of all kinds of cool bands, and not your typical stuff. I mean, everything from The Police to Led Zeppelin to Modern English, Cheap Trick, Kiss, AC/DC, Def Leppard, Fastway, The Partridge Family, which I like The Partridge Family better. Anyway, Billy Squier, Rolling Stones, Def Leppard, just Flock of Seagulls, just all over the place. So they're very diverse, very cool. They got cool imagery, makeup, stuff like that. So, but that's it. I just was feel like I'm out of touch. There's so many modern bands out there. Now, I do say I don't always jump and buy modern bands. There's a lot of modern bands that I would like to buy. They're on my wish list, but have not. Bands like The Pretty Reckless, and, you know, there's a lot of those bands, and I listen to them on Spotify occasionally. I hear them in the car, on the radio, but for some reason, it seems like my buying habits tend to lean more towards classics, tends to lean more toward, and all these bands that are new releases, I think you pretty much can look at them. Most every one of them has been around for 20 years or more. I mean, there's a few exceptions. I mean, Haunt, 10 years or so, less, whatever, less than that. But for the most part, it just seems like I buy bands that I've listened to for years, or certain bands. I need to spread out and get into some of the newer music, I guess. But who knows? Anyway, for now, my entire collection seems to be mostly classic stuff. So that's it for now. I just thought it was a cool, interesting look at what my buying habits have been, at least for the past year. Maybe they'll change. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll be back, though. Rock on and rock hard.